Hello, everyone. Welcome to my shop. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are. I know we got some people local in the U.S. We got a couple of Canadians. It's good. We've got some folks from the UK and even Slovakia. So welcome. So I'm here in my shop here in Allen, Texas. Allen's just north of Dallas, about half an hour. So we've been here for about 30 years now. Moved down from Canada. So it is getting warm again here. We're probably going to hit a high at 85. So it's almost time for me to turn my shop AC on. It's up in the corner over there. So didn't turn it on yet though. So I've moved my time for this live stream to 1 o'clock. I think it says right up there. Thanks to, I think it was Wayne or somebody that pointed out that I had still 2:30 up there. It used to be at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Moved it to 1 o'clock. We're in the same. I'm at the same time as Cindy is, and we both do live streams on Friday afternoons, just opposite every other weekend from each other. So we'll talk to Cindy here in a second. She has joined me in the studio. So today we are looking at turning some small pieces of Bur Oak, but I also made mention, if you read the newsletter, about some other tools we might look at here first. And I've also got something else to show you here on the desk too. So let's jump into it. If you got questions during the live stream, throw them in the comments of the chat, whatever platform you're on, whether it's StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, etc. I can see them all. So good to have you here. There's a lot of good people that joined. I showed a few of those. We've got lots more here in the chat. Larry, Mark, good to have you here. Good to see you down the road. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to skip over a few. We've got Jim from Utah. David from Ohio, or sorry, Dwayne from Ohio. There's another Dave right beside you here in the chat. Charles, good to have you here. St. Charles, Missouri. So don't know if you're the saint there in Missouri, but welcome, Charles. Good to have you here. Lee, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And let's see, I'm just going to scroll down a bit more. We've got Arthur, Gerald, pick up a few more. A friend Gonzalo out in California. Good to have you here. And let's see. Greg from Wisconsin, all over the place. And Cindy is here. Did I miss where she? Oh, there she is. Yeah, she is. There you go. So she's in the chat as well. And just trying to get to the bottom here. Good. There's a lot of people joined. I appreciate it. I know I was a little late in posting this live stream. I think I posted it on Wednesday, maybe even Thursday. I can't remember, but I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. And I got out here on the weekend. Busy weekend after a vendor showcase. We'll talk a bit more of that in a second. So there's a lot of catch up to do and stuff. So let's see. Oh, he is here. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining. And I do still have 2:30 up there on the website. Oh, David, thank you for asking or checking. Let me see. Is it? Let's see. Sorry, just I got to see this for myself because I do. Look at that. Oh, Todd, for shame. Thank you, David, for pointing that out. I'll make a note. Appreciate you checking the website out and showing that off. So good stuff. Good stuff. It's always everything you see on the website is all my doing. Most of the photographs are mine, but a lot are stock. All the some of the descriptions are stock from other vendors, but a lot of it's mine. But I do all the website updating, so it's this guy's fault, nobody else's. So thanks for pointing that out. I can't find my mouse now. There we go. Got it back. Good stuff, David. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Let's see. There's Joe Spries. I hadn't seen Joe for a while. Good to have you here, Joe. Hope the fishing's good this spring. So good stuff. And KK, thanks for joining. Hans, good to have you here. Thanks very much. And she's okay. Laverne said, I like the 2:30 time better as most Fridays I'm busy at this time. Yeah, I know. It was kind of one of those things. And if you watched a few of my early live streams, like 4 years ago, maybe 5, I explained why I chose 2:30. It was I used to work for a company, or it's where I met my wife, Shelley. And Fridays, the factory shut down at 2:30. So what was next to do but go to the pub? So I got known as 2:30 Todd around the office. Just, not saying I drank a lot back then, but yeah, a pint or two would be nice. So that lasted for a while, and we thought we got some thoughts about moving it to 1. I did. 2 reasons. One, it matches the time Cindy's on, but it also gets me more out of the heat of the day here in the summertime. So it does get warm in the shop, even with a little mini split AC. So thanks for joining. Let's move on. I've talked a lot about that. Let's see. This is how to get a hold of me if you need to. Phone number, email address, everything on the website. So check that out. The QR code in the corner gets you on, pulls up my newsletter sign up. Hopefully most of you are on that. If not, pass the idea around to your woodturner friends, and let's get more people joining these live streams, these free sessions. So Cindy is here in the studio, so let's get her up here, and she can talk about her live stream. Cindy, welcome.
Hello, welcome everyone. I
Yes.
do a live stream next Friday, and I had one last Friday.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think what you did last Friday.
I made a tool handle.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of good questions on that. So
yeah,
I've turned a few tool handles, and I think 5 or 6 years ago we talked and saw you turn one somewhere, and I tried that method of drilling from the headstock and stuff. So
right.
Works well. Yep.
Could do it either way, really.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can see either one of us,
yes,
somebody on Friday at this time of day, wherever you are.
Yeah. Any ideas what you got planned for this Friday?
Ooh.
Not yet, probably. Not yet.
I had a plan to schedule it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, good. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry. You just went mute.
I did?
Yeah. You're good now.
Oh. Huh. Anyway, I was going to say I will turn something.
Yes.
Because everyone.
Yeah, that seems to be the favored thing to do, is to turn something. I'm going to show a few tools here today, a few turnings as well, and then we'll get to turning some of the Bur Oak that I talked about in my slide. So before you go, Cindy, we have a sharing session, and let me get out of the way. Free online woodturning, free interactive sharing session. This one is on Zoom, and Cindy and I are going to do this June 6th.
June 6th.
Oh, that's not the one. There's the one.
Yeah, there it is.
June 6th. So this will be a lot of fun. This is where you have cameras and mics if you wish, and you can show off your turnings, and I'm not on screen. Show off your turnings, ask questions live, join the conversation. It's usually an hour long, sometimes goes over, of course, but they're great fun and inspiring too.
Lots of great ideas, always links and tips and sharing from everyone. This isn't just about the two of us. This is about all of you guys.
Exactly. And before you go, we'll just talk briefly about this. Spring Vendor Showcase was on Saturday, so it's a past event. We had a lot of fun doing that. We were out for 4 hours out in the studios, the 6 vendors, and ended up making some collaborative and collectible items for auction and raised money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So thanks to all those that joined us to do that. And Cindy, have you, your piece, have you finished your piece with Lyle?
Ooh, don't. Oh yeah, I'm getting it together. But what's been taking my time is, well, I had the Mushroom Box IRD last Saturday, but we're doing a recording for Vendor Showcase now. And so if you're on either of our newsletters or Lyle's or Steve's or Joe's, you'll get a link to the recording. So this is a new thing for Vendor Showcase.
Yeah, and I think we got to figure out. I think are we gonna make that public or unlisted? I think
we're gonna. I was planning to put it on my YouTube channel as public, so anyone can find it.
That's what I'm doing as well. Each vendor kind of has their own plan for what they want to do with it. So, but what you'll see in the recording is, there's some time sensitive stuff like the weekend specials, the deals and stuff like that. We've taken most of that out, as well as the raffle drawing stuff. But left all the content around the mini demos, the Q&A, and a little bit
the auction pieces.
The auction pieces and the charity. So it's still 3.5 hour long video,
something like that. Almost 4 hours anyway. And so you'll see demos from all of us and little bits about our tools and it's good.
In fact, this is what I turned live during that session. So talk about that in a second.
And what are you going to do with that now?
I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. But anyway,
it's a shape that begs for embellishment.
Yes, it does, definitely. And certainly the wood does. It's silver maple and kind of blah, if you will. So, add some color to it. I think I will. So, all right. Cindy, thanks very much for joining the studio. And we'll see you later.
See you later, everyone.
All right. So next is nothing. So let's go overhead and see what we actually got here. So this is these are the little eggs I turned prior to Vendor Showcase to give away in a raffle, or not in the raffle, in the auction. So I gave away, I think, or auctioned off 2 of these eggs. I think, I don't know if it was this one or one of these other ones and this colored one. And so I still have them. I haven't quite finished everything on them yet, but this one's pretty much finished. The colors are Derwent ink tints. And some white acrylic for the white, because the white ink doesn't really do much on the grain. The rest is burned in insides and then colored with different colors. I thought I'd try some of that and see what that would look like. So this is finished with Minwax polyacrylic, and it left sort of an eggshell sheen or a satin sheen, and I'm going to leave it that way. I think I like that look. I don't want it highly polished. These ones, on the other hand, are finished with, these are maple burl. Did some off-center turning to get the slices in there and filled those with jewels. So jewels, easy inlay stuff, and solar resin. So it's they're highly glossy. You can see the reflections of my overhead lights and my studio light there, but you can see the I don't know what these things are. They're easy inlay stuff. Maybe Michael can, as this, or Cindy knows this stuff. I can't remember the names of this stuff. But solar res, UV cured resin, and then top coated with white bond poly, Minwax white bond poly. So there's one with different colored jewels. There's another one with different colored jewels in different places. And then this one I filled with gold. So we've got some gold in there. In them there hills. So, and this is actually gold skewings that I got from Cindy. She sent me a bunch. So yeah. And then in a bowl I turned about a month and a half ago on the stream. So those 2 of those are raised money for St. Jude, and 2 are for my wife. So this is the other thing I turned at Vendor Showcase live. Oops, wrong way. It's a piece of maple, and I turned the outside just prior to the event, like 20 minutes prior, and then hollowed this thing out live in my 25-minute segment. It took me about 15, 20 minutes to hollow it out. So, and what did I hollow it out with? I hollowed this out with the Proform tool. So we'll take a look at that here in a second and do that. So this isn't finished. I haven't sanded really the outside. I've done a bit of sanding on the inside just to see what it would look like, but I've got a lot more work to do to sand the inside and then finish the bottom. So that's fun. Before we get to the Proform tool, I also have sort of a new tool that I want to kind of show. It was a suggestion from one of my customers, emailed me or something like that. I can't remember who it was. I have to look up the email, but they said, "Why don't you make a platform, 3D printed platform for a tool post?" So this is, and I'll get myself off there. This is a 3D printed platform. I've got screw holes all around, so you can make a bigger platform. This is 150 mil wide, which is about 6 inches, a square, I guess should say. So, and the 3D printed part goes up and wraps around the what do you call it? The tool itself, the tool post itself. So I think I don't have that. I'll get that collar out of the way. And these tool posts have threads on both ends, at least the 6-inch version does, the 5 and 6 inch. The other sizes don't have threads on the bottom. But in the end of this, I don't know if I can get this off. That's the wrong one. I need this one. Wish Tommy bar sizes were the same all the way. It is a snug fit, and it's threaded on the interior, so it is pretty sturdy. I can now get it off. Let's see. There we go. So there you see that inner hole is threaded half by 20. So I think it's half by 20. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I had to actually sand this one out. This is the first prototype. And so I have to make this opening slightly bigger, like maybe 0.5 millimeter or 1/4 millimeter bigger. And then I got to clean up the inside a bit more. So, but very sturdy and steady. This is the tool post. The unfortunate thing is we're just almost out of these tool posts. We had a run on them here lately, so not quite sure why, but there we go. So that's a 3D printed part. It's very sturdy and steady. So let me know what you think about that, and whether it's something you use or would use or have used, that kind of idea platform. I know I have a wooden one. I think I showed a while ago. Few streams ago, I think indexing something. I can't remember what though. So let's take a look at the chat here. The tool post is a woodcut tool post. We have them on our website. There's 1 by 5 inches and 1 by 6 inches. There's other sizes too. Can't remember them all. Like there's some mini post ones, 5/8 and 3/4. Obviously, I wouldn't pick that one, but yeah. Different ideas. Did I use a vacuum chamber for epoxy filling jewels in the egg? No, it's very easy. There's solar res epoxy or UV cured epoxy. You have, it's very thick. You can chill it down so it doesn't flow quite as quick. So I did it piece by piece. I had to hold the egg at a certain angle, and I'm not sort of at a certain angle so it doesn't flow out. Put some jewels in there, cover it with solar res, hit it with the flashlight, and the flashlight's a UV light, and it cures it instantly. Wear your safety glasses when you're using UV light. And then move to the next section. So it took a while, but and then filled it up over top with UV curing resin. stuck it back on the lathe, smoothed it out, and cut it down. So yeah, it's very, very cool. Yes, there, Cindy answered that. So thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Let's see. Are you providing the file to allow printing of those? It's something I could think about. The one I have yet is not ready for publishing, but yeah, Steve, send me an email. Let me know what you think, how that works, where you get your 3D printed files. If I should put it on my website or put it up on a service somewhere. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of that. Cindy said she would buy one of those platforms. Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh, good to know, David. Thank you. Chefware Kits also sells similar tool posts in several lengths. So yeah, if it's a very snug fit on the 1-inch part, and so you wouldn't necessarily need the threaded ends in it, but yeah, it's just for what I had and what I used that worked. Josh, I like the platform a lot. Is that the woodcut tool post? Yes, it is. I'm wondering if it would fit my existing post. If you have a 1-inch post, from woodcutters from other places. The other thing I wanted to do, while we're talking about this, is on the actual side of this, I'm going to put a set screw hole, maybe one, maybe two set screw holes, so we can add set screws. I'll probably use threaded inserts for the set screws. That way, if you don't have one that threads down into the bottom there, you can secure it with a couple of set screws. So that's something else I'm thinking about. So that way, I don't know if the Chefware Kit posts use any sort of threading inside. I don't know if other tool post manufacturers. I know there's a metric set on Lee Valley. I don't know if their posts they're 1-inch, but I think their threads are M12s, I think, on the end of their posts. So yeah, good thinking. So don't necessarily need to use that thread down there because you got over 1 inch, 30 millimeters of post insertion. So let's see. He says, I've made a wooden platform and a 1-inch wood shaft for the robust. Yes, I've done the same thing. And for me, it's a little bit flimsy. There it is there. So it works, but my dowel gets beaten up quite a bit. So you can see the damage on the dowel there. It's just a piece of MDF. And I used these slides for another platform that held a drill. So I had a drill platform that could slide in here. So I was doing some drilling. I've got some measured marks here for some other stuff using this way. I don't know what, I can't remember. But yeah, it's very utilitarian and works very well, but it does move a little bit because of the wooden post on a set screw. If I had this sleeved in steel or a steel post, that would probably solve that issue. Yeah. All right. All good questions. All really good comments. Thank you. I should do a live stream on opal and resin filling. Oh, maybe I should. Maybe that should. That'd be a good one. Thank you, Cindy. Good ideas. John, you're in late. I think you get a tardy notice. What was that tool post thing for? It's just a platform. If you want to do any index marking at center, if you wanted to use, a platform for a flat drilling, or maybe you've got a router jig that's got a slide around on it for fluting. All kinds of different things you could use it for. So yeah, that's really what it is. That's why I put the holes in the perimeter so that you could mount another piece of wood on it, that kind of thing. So yeah, for indexing, that'd be good. Shelly, what are you chiming in about? You should do a live stream on opals and resin filling. I love how the pretty things turn out. Okay, all right, we'll put that on the agenda. Thingiverse, okay, good idea. Best Wood Tools, yes, they are tool posts there. I do buy from them. They're good people, so good to have them around. Cindy had some of those. Good. Colin, good to have you here. Thanks for joining, friend. Hope things are well with you and your wife out there in Tennessee. Yeah, you can get a 1-inch steel rod, make your own. Work perfectly fine. That way you can make it different height posts based on your lathe. Maybe a 6-inch. I know a 6-inch post and a 5-inch post doesn't work for the bowl saver product. Doesn't work on a 1644, a jet 1644. It's that stupid. Well, not stupid, but the extra threads on the bottom of the post that you don't use for that. Those threads on the bottom of the post are for the pro mount, and these threads on the bottom screw onto a bench plate so you can hold it on a bench. That's what those bottom threads are for, and why they have them. So, but they get in the way of bottoming out in a banjo in a 1644. So something to be aware of. Draw index marks, also rest for showing pieces for clubs. Yeah, it's a good show platform. And not as a support for drilling or routing. Okay, good. All right, I think we're at sanding disc platform. Yeah, that's a good one, Gary. Good stuff. So let me pull out a couple of different tools I want to talk about just briefly, and we'll get to turning this oak, I'm sure, very shortly. So I have discovered through, again, I think a customer in Hawaii bought one of these Proform tools and was asking whether or not the hook tool bar would hold the Proform cutter or vice versa. And I said, I hadn't even thought about it, but I had thought about it years ago. Before woodcut, I was going to make some extra ends for this hook tool bar. The hook tool bar is just a 3/4 inch round bar. It has an 8mm opening in the end, and it holds the Hoslow hook tool. So that works well for that. There's a bit of slop there because I wanted to make sure. This is actually drilled 5/16, which is close to 8mm. This is a 7mm, 7 or 8mm shank. But I wanted to eventually make some accessories for this. And so since then, 3.5 years ago, I started carrying the woodcut product, and they make this Proform. Where's that wrench? There it is. Tool. And I thought, well, does the Proform, that's the wrong wrench. Oh, I know, it's this one. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Does that Proform tool fit in? Where did I stick that wrench now? This is the thing, the bane of my existence is, and I'm sure yours too, metric and imperial hex wrenches all over the place. So does this shaft fit in this tool? Well, it would if this brass guard wasn't in the place. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So it certainly would. And so Woodcut makes a couple of accessories for the Proform shaft on the end here. One of them is a scraper head, which I don't have any more of because I sold the last one to this person in Hawaii, I think, or somewhere. But they also make this little wonder head, cup head. That will fit in the hook tool bar just fine. Set up your set screws. And they make a scraper head, and that would fit in here as well. I'll get some of those more coming here in the next couple of months. Slow boat from New Zealand. And so that works. And then I thought, okay, well, does this woodcut handle take the hook tool? And sure enough, it would. So in there, and then pick the right set screw or Allen key. And there you go. So you can use this bar to hold other accessories. You can use this bar to hold a hook tool. You can use this bar for any sort of other tools you can fit in there. Maybe some third party or other vendors stuff fits in there. And I think that's another 8mm or 5/16 hole. So that was good to find out. I'm not going to use the hook tool today, I don't think. No, I'm not actually. I can say that pretty exclusively because we are turning face grain, not end grain. So people have often asked me, can you turn face grain with the hook tool? I said, I can't stop you doing what you want to do. I don't. So I only turn end grain with my hook tool, but it has been done. So this guy is off the screen, is a 13 millimeter cut cutter. This one has to be M2 steel, so sharpenable. And it's a little tricky to use. The little Wonder tool has a shaft with this on the end. And so you can get that. I think those are only $69 or something like that. And they have a line down the shaft to tell you to hold it at this angle or hold it at this angle for shear cutting. So putting this straight into a turning like that would be very aggressive and cause a pretty good catch. So, but they are good tools. You just have to use them the way they're intended and the way they are kind of meant to be used. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. And so that was a couple of unique ideas I learned about toolbars and different tools that you can mix and match and see what works. I will probably do a live stream with the hook tool using that bar at some point and that handle, and or vice versa. Maybe the hook tool bar with the woodcut tool at some point, as soon as I get more stock. So let's clear off the decks and let's see what we are working on today. Let me also look at the chat and see what's going on. Oh, I've got this over here now. Bear with me. Yeah, it is pretty sturdy, definitely with a steel post and stuff. Hook tool, Steve, use that for end grain hollowing. So any sort of, in fact, at SWAT, if you're going to SWAT, if anybody's going to SWAT, go to SWAT. If you're not going to SWAT, go to SWAT. Guess what I'm saying. SWAT is the Southwest Area of Turners. They have a symposium in Waco, third weekend or fourth weekend in August. I can't remember the exact dates. And I'm going to be a regional demonstrator, and I'll be showing off the hook tool, creating a elevated candy dish out of a natural edge log. So check that out. I've also got hook tool tutorials on my YouTube channel. They're linked on my web page as well. So you can look at those. The other resource, there's more YouTube videos of me using the hook tool. I do have to redo that YouTube tutorial on the hook tool. It's a little old. All the content is great. I just kind of realized it's in my old shop setting, not in this nice studio with all these nice cameras. So I need to redo that. So yeah, end grain hollowing. You'll take a look at the YouTube video. You'll see what it's all about. Let's talk about another sort of new tool. I've got a new set of jaws because I had a lot of this small oak pieces that I wanted to figure out how to turn and hold. And I thought, well, let's give these a shot and see what they look at. These are expanding pin jaws, and I'll show them up here a bit more in focus up here. So they're almost like pen jaws, but they got these sort of cuts on them and stuff to make them grip the interior a bit more. So let's get those on the lathe. This is a SK100, and you can't see that. And so they're meant for expansion. And so what I've done is taken these blocks of wood and I've drilled out holes in the end. I didn't do this one yet. That one's a bit small. But it's a 1 inch Forstner bit, drilled about 1.5 inches deep. That's about right, 40 millimeters. And then it goes on there and expand that on there. So I started turning this Bur Oak. This oak, by the way, is 400 to 500 years old. These pieces are from sort of the main trunk, probably 4 feet off the ground, and near the interior where the rot was. So you can see the bug holes, and if I see, yeah, you can see there's some cracks forming here. And if I didn't have the other piece, I think the rotted part was probably over here because the cracks are going this way towards the pith. And anyway, so all these bug holes were there, and I thought, oh, that's kind of neat character. Well, let's try and turn some of that. I've got this piece that you can see that bug hole kind of going through there and stuff, and they create sort of those channels. So I've drilled a hole in that one to try and salvage that piece. This was a good practice piece to start with, see how it turns. Got a good crack down the bottom here, so I may shorten this one up. So yeah, drill a hole, mount it in there, and expand into it. And that's how we're going to hold this guy. So I got to go the opposite way I think I want to go. That's the wrong way. There we go. And it grips. So I also have a tailstock center point up here. Let's see if I've managed to line that up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I might move that tailstock out a little bit. Give me a bit more room for my tool rest. All right, so safety glasses. This is really chippy stuff, kind of breaks out a little bit, but we shall persevere. I am grabbing maybe I should use that one up. I'll use this one up. I should show you what I'm doing. I'm grabbing a robust 5/8 bowl gouge. They're really long bowl gouges. So you get a lot of tool for your money with your bowl gouges. So adding on modular handle. And thank you, whoever that was. My phone just went cha-ching. It's really kind of funny, but also annoying sometimes. So I've started to put a tenon on here. And the way I did that, of course, I've got to show it again because it is my little radius gauge. So I'm going to size this for, I've got a 3-inch chuck over here, which is, oh gosh, I can never remember. Interior, it's about 57 millimeters. And so that's close to 60. So I size this at about 30. And if I look at my pencil and maybe go to that shot, you can see that I'll get off that little 30 millimeter mark is right there. So 25 millimeter there, 30 millimeter there. So we're right at that edge. I've already started that tenon sort of thing. So there we go. That should work. 30 millimeter should do me nicely. I've not, well, it's got a slight dovetail on it, but maybe not enough yet. So I'll put a dovetail on that. First, I'm going to round this out and see where we get to. See in the end view, we really don't have much room around the end of that. So this will eventually go away. But I'll start there, and this is kind of on the fly sort of turning, not something I'm. What view is that? Oh, that's that view. Let's go overhead. We'll do that. Maybe we'll zoom this one in. That's really not going to show a whole lot. Let's try that one. All right. So I've got a bowl gouge. Oh, you remember I said this is face grain turning. Grain's going this way, not this way. Even though it looks like a spindle blank, it's face grain turning. So I got to turn from this side up rather than this side down. So I got to remember that and know that's what I need to do. And I think I may put on the face shield for this first part because it is chippy stuff. I'll stand back out of the way, go from small diameter to large diameter. Bouncing off that cut. It is bouncy until I get a nice bevel. Let's take some of the corners off. A little bit more speed. Let's see if we're round. It's really quite a racket, so there's not a lot of talking while I'm doing that. So I've got a bit of a flat right here, so we'll do that. But otherwise, we're rounded right out. What am I going to make? I'm not quite sure. So I might move this tenon up a little bit so I can bury it deeper in the thing and widen this out. So I think I'll do that as well. So we'll put the tenon not here, but we'll put it up here. Still keeping this end. So how deep can I go into my jaws? These are deep hollow form jaws or gripper jaws or piranha jaws. I'm not sure what the actual name is now, but they are over 1.5 inches deep, which is 40 millimeters deep. So that means I can bury this much of this turning into that jaw. So let's mark that and say, okay, we'll put our tenon right up in here. All right, and tenon depth is only about 4 millimeters, so on those jaws. So now I got to remember that I got to go that way with the jaws. So let's do that. It's kind of a backwards cut right here, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a little dovetail in there. Wrong way, Todd, right? Yes, wrong way. Good thing I got some depth to do that with. This is very heady at this point. I'm not quite sure how that's working out for me, but I'm cutting against the grain just because it's comfortable and it's just wasting wood. So let's go back up. Make sort of a pleasing shape and figure out where our tenon's going to go. And then why can't I think about this? All right. That's getting warm, that tool. Cough there. Take a sip of water. That was something got in my mouth. I'm going to stop there for a second and take a look at the chat. Yes, thank you, SWAT, Best Symposium out there. Thank you, Colin. Shelley said, yeah, so it's 22nd and 24th. Thank you. Appreciate that. I can't remember the exact dates. Gary, Walmart was crazy, isn't it always? Nice. With the pin jaws, let's see where I missed that. Where to go? Are you seated the wood at the top of the jaws? Yeah, so good point. I didn't really show that. This wasn't cut exactly right, so let me just, you see I've got a bit of a gap here, there, and it certainly will. And even this one was not sitting flush. It was, if I hold it, that I can't remember which way, but it's a little cockeyed. So I don't need to hold it exactly. In fact, let me just, what do I do with that? Chucky. You could hold it back a ways. Let me just get that point center in there. Wrong way again. And so you have a gap there. If you have some end on here you can't really get to, maybe it's a burl cap, maybe it's something else. Natural edge they show on the webpage, natural edge bark being sitting up there. So that would work. I still have tailstock support. If I crank on this tailstock, will I get it to move? It is moving slightly, but it takes a lot of pressure and force to move that. So let me see. Okay, so I've got to measure something. I don't have. I do have my calipers. So we'll do about a 60-inch. I'm about there, almost there on that dimension, 60 millimeters, which is going to fit my jaws there. So I need did I go up too far for that? No, should be okay. Should be okay. I need to make a flat up here. Let me get my parting tool and do that. Do I have one loaded? I don't. There we go. And I got my safety glasses on, so I'll just use those. I'm just going to part in up here. That's going to be my flat of the dovetail. I'm going to get my spindle gouge a little more. Why is this way over there? Let's use this one. See, I've got this out now. I can kind of get rid of that little sharp corner. Let's do that now. So it's another good reason to kind of pull it away is so you can get this sharp edge there. I'll stand back out of the way. This is going to shrapnel a little bit. There it is. So a little bit of dovetail here. I can move that up. Let me check that diameter. I think that's probably about there. Still within range. That's probably a good diameter right there. So maybe we'll leave that one there and we'll shape the rest of it up to that dovetail. And go from there. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. This is kind of going against the grain, or with the grain, cutting this way. And we'll cut across the bottom. And we'll, I got that still on there. Sorry about that, folks. Zoom in a little bit. Bring it back over. Oops, wrong way. Let's zoom that in. That's probably not focused now. I have to stop and fix that. Not bad. We can just tweak that. All right. All right. Back to it. So we're making a bottom here of the vessel. Want to get rid of tailstock damage. I'll eventually take that end away and finish that bottom. I'm going to finish shaping the rest of it here. A nice sort of football shape, if you will. Nice little belly on the whole thing there. Move that down just a bit. And now we got to make this end meet up with that end through this transition. So this is actually left-hand turning and cutting against the grain, if you will. Trying to find my cutting edge. So I'm using my mind's eye to meet this surface with this surface and see if they're going to flow once I take that away. That's pretty close, but not quite. This is a chance to try left hand gouge work. That's pretty close. It's not the same shape though. So I'm going to take this guy, get a little bit closer here, and change this angle up a little bit. That's looking better. One more cut here. Back to right-handed. Gonna put my foot on the other side of the headstock. And just slowly making the vessel kind of look okay. I think this has to come right there. It's actually I think I'll have to massage that area when I get there. All right, I think that looks pretty good to take away the tailstock. Finish the bottom. Back this all the way up. Move some tools. Oops. All right, let's just give this a bit of an angle. Lock that down. And finish this end. And a few more minutes left in the live stream. A few little decorative circles in there. I don't have my 3-point tool out. Just see how those look. A little fuzzy out here, a little chippy. We'll cut that cleanly. I'm going to really have to sand that first, I think, before I do that with the gouge. I need to maybe round that over a little bit so it's not such a sharp edge. That looks better from a surface point of view. This is all well cut. This, I need a nice sharp interface right there on that dovetail. Let's do that. I've got my pointy spindle gouge I use for creating dovetails all the time, and let me put that up and I'll zoom this in a little bit. So it's this surface right in here that I want to get flat. So I'm going to create this dovetail, use the bottom wing to make it flat. I'm wondering if that dovetail is a bit too long too. Let's try that. All right, let's see if this is an SK114 with these monster jaws on it. Holoform jaws. Get my key. Did I make it too small? No, it looks good to me. There's just a little gap there, not so much, but that looks pretty good to me. So that is what we're going to use to, do I want to do this now? I don't think so. I think what I'll do, I've kind of shown you the method. And this, thanks to Cindy for showing me this and these tower jaws, how to use them in this regard. But making your tenon up there, you've got this stuff that can stick down on the bottom of those tower jaws, and your tenon up further. I'm going to kind of finesse this curve a little bit here, and then finish this, and then sand, and do all that. So let me kind of just end things there on the live stream today. Let me do that. I didn't do this view. That's not bad. It's a little far away though. That's a fixed lens. I can't really zoom that one. But let me go back to this. Let me get my mouse pad over here and finish up with you all here in just a second here. Let's see. Chuck said, I just got 3 Chef4 tool posts, or the. It's great. It comes with a flange to mount your platform too. You can get additional flanges too. Oh, okay. Nice. I'll have to take a look at that. I have to do that. Oh, there's more coming. See if I missed anything. Sorry, let's see. SWAT. Okay. He says with the pin. Okay, we talked about that one. Moving on to YouTube can't get you link. You open on the link. Oh, okay. Something to check. Cindy, maybe you can check that in the back end, see if StreamYard is not working. Thank you for that, Gary. Let's see. Oh, David says, works fine, use a website link. Okay, must be something on his end. Any chance that you and Cindy could post on your sites the camera configuration you're using, showing cameras and software? We could take a month doing that. We could talk about that all day long. So there is it's a good thing. I haven't updated my camera setup on Lucid for quite a while. It's probably at least 3 years. And so, yeah, it's a good thing to do. I've got to do a wiring diagram as well. But I am using 5 cameras right now, and ATEM software and some other software and stuff to make all this work. So good question, Steve. We can send me an email and we can try and answer some pointed questions. But Cindy says, yeah, there's a video of her setup on YouTube. I'm not sure how old that one is, but I need to do another one. I did post one on Lucid, I think. Yes, there it is. Thank you, Cindy. You're on top of it. Yeah, that's probably true. At least for woodturners, for sure. It's there's some other great setups out there as well, but to get this sort of look and the camera angles and the zooming in and out, moving things back and forth, takes a little bit of work. Chippy on the bottom because of the wood or because your preferred tool is not at hand. It's probably a bit of both. I think this oak is very chippy. Oak usually is. The reason I'm turning this is, of course, one reason I said it's the 500-year-old, 400 or 500-year-old oak that I got from the city of Plano as a sort of an artist gift, if you will. Turn some stuff out of it. They had a show at the Plano Art Center about a month ago that I missed. I didn't get the notification, but I have some other pieces turned out of this stuff, and I just love the grain on oak. I know some people hate oak, but sometimes you find the right pieces. It cracks like the Dickens. So this stuff has been sitting around cut up for a while. Way too slow for me. Okay, thank you, Ronald. Appreciate it. I'm not sure what that means, but just barely fits. Yeah, it was a close fit. Let's see. Steve's got another great question. Also, can you guys add the chat to your postings? That way, you get the links that you post. This is something we're asking StreamYard. That's the platform we're using, is to save this chat. I don't know any other way to do it at this point. So I think Cindy answered that. Thank you, Cindy. Could you add a Zoom session and then you can get the chat? That would only get the Zoom chat. The things I'm showing here, Steve, are, for example, if you look at you and KK are on StreamYard, but this post from Cindy, what she did in the studio, is from YouTube, and this one is from Facebook. So all 3 platforms are converging all their chat into this, and so if we can get this chat out, that would be the best way to do it. We're working on it. Any link that what is? Sorry, I passed over this, KK. Sorry. If you copy the chat onto your clipboard, you can paste it into a Word document or such. Yeah, if we got a volunteer, that sounds good. I certainly can't do that while I'm doing this. So with multiple streaming platforms, though, you can only capture the ones you're on. I'm on StreamYard. Yes. So like I said, I should have read this question before I answered what I just did. Thank you, KK. You kind of summed that up. So no, just as I said, no link that on it, except for what we have in the studio here in this environment. Anyway, so yeah, a couple things for me to do. Live stream on resin and jeweled eggs. Maybe I'll make that a demo too at some point. I don't know. And then finish this guy up. What was the other one? There was something else. I can't remember. I'll have to rewatch this and figure it out. thank you all for joining me. Appreciate it. Hopefully, you got something out of today with the tool review, the talk about the eggs, the events we have and have had or are having. And get out in your shop and turn something. I'm now covered in oak dust, and I'm a little sticky from the sweat, so I think I need to go have a shower. And you guys, everybody, take care. Have a great weekend. Good Friday. Happy Easter, everybody. For those that celebrate, enjoy your weekend. Have fun and be safe, and be kind to one another. And we'll see you all later. So thanks for joining. Appreciate it. All right, we're out. Oops, lost my mouse.